Hi, this is Aaron, and today we're going to compare the new MacBook Air, the 2010 model, to the original MacBook. This is the original first Unibody MacBook before they called it a Pro. Just has an iCarbon skin on top of it. Here's the iPad and iPhone. Just for a size comparison, you can kind of see how small this MacBook Air really is. It's not much wider. The iPad's just about the same width, but not as long. So let's move those aside. And here's the Air. Nice aluminum like everything else here. The front, you can see how thin these really are, different-wise, compared to the 13-inch MacBook, which isn't big, but this Air is ridiculously thin. Let's go ahead and turn it and take a look at the ports on the side here. So the ports on the side of the MacBook are the power, Ethernet, USB, mini display port, audio in, audio out, and then your Kensington lock, and then you have your battery indicator here. You can see it there. On the MacBook Air, you have your power, USB, audio out, and microphone right there. You can see that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side. So on the MacBook, you have your super drive slot, and the nice thing that they've added to the Air is a USB port on both sides. So you have USB and mini display port. On the back, you can see they're pretty much the same, just thinner with the MacBook Air. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the inside a little bit, because there is a little difference. And I don't need to show you the whole screen to show you this, so we'll just stay right here. But right here we have the new MacBook Air, and the display port, or I'm sorry, the trackpad rather, I don't know where that came from. The trackpad rather is a little bit narrower. If you can see right here, narrow-wise it's narrower, but about the same width. And I think that's fine for this application, because it doesn't feel like you're limiting size-wise. I've used it a little bit in the store and it's not too bad. Now we do have a difference in keyboard size. The spacebar is a little bit smaller on the MacBook Air. Some of these keys feel maybe a little bit smaller. They're not as raised as high, but very usable in full size. So you have all your keys. They made up some room on the top here with your escape and your different keys for brightness and sound. They made them narrower, so that worked out, nicely for that. Now the other thing with the Air is, in order to get the strength out of this bezel, or out of the top here, this is aluminum instead of glass. This is glass on the MacBook, where on the Air, you just have aluminum for strength. It actually looks pretty nice against the screen. And I haven't even powered this on, the Air on yet, but just kind of want to give you that. And then in the top here, you have your camera, which shows through on the top. So that's pretty much it for that. Oh, let me show you the bottoms, because bottoms are a little bit different. Let's flip the MacBook over here. So you have, the new MacBooks don't have this little panel here where you have your hard drive and stuff, but they look more like the Air that's just got your screw holes and your little rubber feet on the bottom. But size-wise, it's another size comparison you can kind of see a little bit better. And I also took some pictures for a little bit size comparison, so check those out, and then right after that we'll compare some speed differences on the two and see how they stack up against one another. So I've set the MacBook Air up and turned it off, and the MacBook, the 13-inch MacBook, is turned off. So spec-wise, this is a 1.4 Core 2 Duo, 2 gigs of RAM, and with the 64 gig solid-state drive. This MacBook is a 2 gigahertz Core 2 Duo with 4 gigs of RAM. So let's go ahead and open them both up. They're both off. And we'll go ahead and start them up for the first time so we can see how fast they actually boot. So let's bring this up a little bit, and now let's go ahead and power them both on. Now the power is different on here, and also the resolution of the MacBook Air is actually higher than the MacBook. So that's pretty neat. Let's go ahead, and this is an actual button. This is the new power button. So you can see the Air actually came on a lot quicker. Now, they did boast about instant on because of the solid state drive. They're both booting. Both have Snow Leopard on them. So let's go ahead and wait for them to boot up here and see which one wins. Now, spec-wise, the Air is actually a little bit slower. And there you go. That was pretty quick. And the resolution, I do have to say, looks really nice. The trackpad is nice. These are all default settings. I haven't touched anything setting-wise. And they look pretty good. The MacBook's still booting. And I don't know if that's because I use it regularly and it has stuff on it, but it shouldn't really take that long to boot, but it is. And huge difference for me, but we're going to do an instant on test when it goes to sleep too, once this comes up. That's pretty crazy. So there we go. The Air feels really fast when you're using it. And I did connect it to Wi-Fi. You have to, that's kind of part of it. And you can see it powered down the screen a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to try and load iTunes on both of these. I have them hovering over the icons. See which one loads. They're pretty comparable. Let's go ahead and close both of those. And let's open Safari on both and just see what we get. Never opened Safari on the MacBook Air. So that's pretty impressive how fast that really is. Let's try one more thing, I guess. We'll try iMovie. There we go. Let's see what we get. iMovie's up. Now there's nothing in this iMovie since it's the first time it's been open. But that's pretty impressive how fast that loads everything. So far I'm pretty impressed. Obviously, it's not a thorough test, but speed-wise you can see it's pretty comparable to the MacBook, if not faster. I would imagine rendering times and things like that, or transcoding times in movie applications would be slower on the MacBook Air, plus you don't have the same storage, but that's pretty impressive speed-wise. So any of those looking at it and you want to do everything but maybe do a lot of heavy editing, I would think it's a good choice. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Please continue to subscribe and comment. We'll see you next time.